Hi everyone, welcome back, and here you'll be watching another battle video. This time I will be playing my round deck against, you guys remember the guy who played Reshibor? His name is Andrew, so I asked him his name so I could just stop referring to him as the guy who plays Reshibor. His name is Andrew, and he has built a Darkrai deck that he'll be going up against me with. And I want to show everyone, first of all, this playmat of his, that is an Yveltal. He said he got it from eBay. And guys, look at that. That's just an awesome playmat. I just wanted to show it off for one, and two, this guy has just been playing Pokemon for less than 2 months, I think, and he is doing a tremendous job in building decks and playing strategically. Let this be for all of you who say that Pokemon is too hard to pick up. It's not. You can learn this very easily. So, I will say, I will point out first of all that I do play with a lot of proxies in this because I have so many cards in all my other decks. I don't have like 100 tool scrappers to go around or 100 ultra balls and stuff like that. And here you'll see I'm actually showing off the playmat to the camera. So, so you will see a bunch of proxies. Hopefully I'll be able to read them in this video, and hopefully you will too. In case I don't, somebody's trolling the video camera. Anyway, so I do play with proxies in this, but the basic deck is simple enough. The idea is to get as many Pokemon with the move Round into play as possible, and if you play the correct Seismitoad with Round for 2 colorless energy, it does 30 times the number of Pokemon in play that in your play area that have Round. So it doesn't count for your opponents too. Like Tool Drop counts for all tools in play, but yours and your opponents. But still, one reason why this just now begins to work is because Meloetta EX has been released in Legendary Treasures. It has the Round attack, and it's a basic Pokemon, so you just need to play it. Voila, 1 round Pokemon in play. And since Catcher now requires a coin flip, people are less likely to play it, so Meloetta is more likely to stay safe on the bench. If you play 4 Meloetta on your bench, then you only need to get 1 more Pokemon with Round, preferably Seismitoad, in play, and you're doing 150 damage. If you're up against an EX, you attach a Silver Bangle, you're doing 180, that'll knock out just about anything. With the exceptions of Megas and Black Kyurem with Crystal Wall on it. Other than that, well, Giant Caves as well. But other than that, it's just a really good deck. I wouldn't say this is tier 1 in any way. I wouldn't even say it's maybe in tier 5. But it's a fun deck if you can get it set up and stuff like that. If you guys want to see more videos of how it works, just check out Puka's videos on the Top Cuts channel. So, my opponent starts out with a Lone Trubbish. I start out with a Meloetta in the front, and I think I have a Temple in the back, which is not the best start, but I will take it. So, we're about to begin. And I think I've explained Round pretty well. And on top of that, there's a Palpitoad that has Round as well. So, in case you need to actually work through Palpitoad to get to Seismitoad, you still got another Pokemon with Round on your bench, preferably. And that helps the output a lot. And there's really there's nothing else I really need to say about that I can think of. So my Andrew plays a Frozen City and N. And the thing behind Frozen City is, it's really good against Blastoise and Emboar decks. But that's it. And after this, I think he was saying he's going to take it out because he, for one, he never really runs into those, and 2, it hurts him oftentimes more than it hurts his opponent. And that's the thing. When people saw Frozen City, they're like, oh, once you set up your bench, you could play Frozen City and just make that your supporter, but not your supporter, your stadium. But unfortunately, it looked better on paper than it did in real life, kind of like Fluffy Chop. Looks great on paper, but when you actually put it out there and begin playing with it, you realize it's not as good as you thought. So, you see plenty of pieces of paper that I have for cards, but, this is League. Like I've said, Playing proxies is seen as okay. It helps you to build your deck if you feel like playing a particular uh, card will help, but you don't have that card. Just play a proxy and see if it does help like you think. So he doesn't get a single basic off of that. He gets a laser and fails to put Meloetta to sleep. It's now my turn, my first turn. I play Burbank City Gym to get rid of his Frozen City. So that'll actually deal more damage to my Meloetta, but I have a switch, so I'm out of the poison now. And that's a beautiful new switch card from the X and Y starter set. I don't know if it'll be in the X and Y set or not. And here I'm debating whether to put a double colorless energy on Temple. I'm really afraid he runs Enhanced Hammer, in which case that would be it for me, because I only run 4 energy and all of them are double colorless. So they're all, special energy. Going up against a Darkrai deck is one of the worst decks that round can face, is because of the Enhanced Hammers, and you can constantly get it back with Junk Hunt from Sableye. So I end up doing Bubble for 10. Woo! I'm not able to evolve because it's my first turn. He plays Hypnotoxic Laser, fails to put my Temple to sleep, but it will be doing 30 in between turns. If I'm unable to evolve or get out, then Temple is dead going into his turn because it only has 60 HP. So he plays a random receiver just to get what he can. Just to see what support he gets. He gets a Professor Juniper. I think he already had a Juniper in his hand and he was really just hoping for an in there. Right now I'm actually in a pretty good spot. I saw that he got Professor Juniper. That means I'm safe. I have a Rare Candy and a Seismitoad in hand, which means I'll be able to get out of the poison next turn, and on top of that, be able to use my round attack for at least 60. If I can get another Meloetta in play, then I could do it for 90. It's just a simple math with round, really. How many Pokemon do you have in play that can use round? And that's how much round will do, times 30. So he plays Professor Juniper. He draws his Gold Potion. Not often you see that. With Darkrai decks especially. Most Darkrai decks play Computer Search, but I guess Gold Potion could be useful. Plays Sableye on the bench. Now he has at least one basic in play. I think he's seeing if he has any Darkness Energy in his good stored pile, and he does not. He has a Garbodor. I don't know why he's not evolving, but he can attach a Darkness Energy to Sableye. He's not evolving. He's not evolving. So, my turn. Take 30 from Poison. Rare Candy. Seismitoad. And my poison's gone, because when you evolve, you get rid of any special conditions. Most people forget that because we just don't see evolved Pokemon that much. But that is a rule. It's that's just the way it is. I played Professor Juniper. I got not what I really wanted. I got a Temple, so at least I'll have a backup in case this Seismitoad gets put in play. And then I play Red Card. And for those of you who don't know, Red Card is a card that'll be released in X and Y. It's already been released in Japan's Y collection. Your opponent shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck, then draws 4 cards. So since I already played my supporter, I could still disrupt my opponent's hand. There I played an Ultra Ball while he's shuffling. I can get another Meloetta in play. Now my round does 90 damage, because it's 30 times the number of Pokemon in play, including Seismitoad. So Seismitoad's 30, Meloetta's 30, and the other Meloetta's 30. That's 90 altogether. More than enough to knock out that poor little Trubbish. And I take the first prize. And my prize was, I think that's a Burbank City Gym. But anyway, so he promotes a Sableye. He just needs a basic at this point. He has a Level Ball. Level Ball could get him a Trubbish, or oh no, he has an Ultra Ball as well. But if he were to play Level Ball, he could get a Trubbish or a Sableye. I would have gone for Sableye there, since it's pretty obvious I don't run any Pokemon with abilities. So in this case, Sableye would help him out more. He's not going to play the Ultra Ball. He's going to play Energy Search, so he can get an energy. then use Ultra Ball so he can discard that energy. And that is the correct play, I think, because with Darkrai especially, you need, with Darkrai decks especially, you need Darkness energy in the discard pile. That's where you need them, because then you can use Dark Patch and power up your Darkrai's. That's the energy acceleration. And I think when most people start out with this game, they don't really think of the discard pile as a resource. They think of it as, pretty much what it sounds like. It's a discard pile. Once it's there, it's gone. And with some decks, that's true. But with many decks, both nowadays and in times past, it has been the case that a discard pile has been the main place to get resources. I know for a fact that Eel's decks did that. Put electric energy in the discard pile so you can charge up stuff on the bench with Eel with Electric's ability Dynamotor. That was actually my very first deck. Was a very crappy variant of Ray Eels. So, but with Darkrai, you put Darkness Energy in discard pile. He plays a Dark Patch to get it onto Darkrai, and he still has an energy attachment for the turn, but he doesn't have the energy, unfortunately. So he's getting a Dark Patch and a random receiver. And there's a guy to the side. His name is Trainer. That's his real name. It's not spelt like the trainer you would think it is, but his name is Trainer, and he's helping Andrew out a lot. I'm trying to show him how to best work this deck, because Andrew has been playing Raybor for a while. Not Raybor, Reshibor for his entire competitive time of 2 months. And, Reshibor and Darkrai, they're completely different decks. So he junk hunted for an Ultra Ball and Dark Patch and a random receiver there. And it's my turn. I play Computer Search and I get a Professor Juniper. And just waiting for him to cut so I can play it. So now I get my 7 cards. And a bunch of paper there. Sorry I can't read all of it. But I'm sure once I play it I'll be able to read it. I play a Silver Bangle, that's what that is, on my Seismitoad. Then I play Ultra Ball. I probably going to discard... I don't know what to discard. I'm going to get rid of Switch because there's no reason for me to use it now. It's obvious he doesn't play Catcher. He has no way to bring up benched Pokemon, so I'm safe. And I probably will want a Seismitoad powered up for later when this one gets knocked out anyway. So I can get rid of a Switch and a Laser. A Hypnotoxic Laser, because it's not going to help me in the long run here at all. I'm going to be able to knock out everything with Round, and that's just ridiculous if you think about it. So I get another Meloetta. It's just ridiculous how much Round can do. Right now I am doing Round for 150, and if I were up against that Darkrai, it'd be 180 because of Silver Bangle. And that's amazing. Just put a bunch of Pokemon out with the same attack and voila, you're doing massive amounts of damage, enough to knock out everything with base HP in the format except for Megas, which aren't even released yet. So this will literally be everything. Wow. So it's his turn. He promotes his Darkrai, nothing else there to put out. Now he plays his Level Ball. He gets a Sableye. Again, that's the correct move to do because Trubbish is useless to him now. I don't even know if he plays any more Trubbish in this deck. I think if I remember him correctly, he said that he only plays a 1/1 line of Trubbish and Garbodor. In my Darkrai deck, I don't play Garbodor. I just go straight Darkrai and Sableye and Hammers. I know Darkrai Garbodor is probably the best deck in format right now. I know that's arguable, but it won the Klaczynski Open, and pretty much decks have remained unchanged since then. That'll definitely change with X and Y. It's won several championships. I know Empoleon is seeing a bunch of play, and Virizion decks of any kind. So he plays his random receiver and gets a Caitlyn, and that's the Caitlyn. I had to force myself to remember what it does. You discard. No, I'm sorry. You put any number of cards that you want in the bottom of your deck, and let me think about how to explain this. From your hand, except for Kalen, you can put any number of cards from your hand onto the bottom of your deck, And the number of cards you put on the bottom of your deck, you draw that many from the top of your deck. So he decides not to play because he only has one card in his hand. So he plays Sableye, gets back Random Receiver, and a Dark Patch. He needs a different supporter, no doubt about it. Frankly, I don't think that Caitlyn is that good of a supporter, but especially when you consider there are other supporters that you could use that get you the same result, if not better. But, he's just having fun, and that's what counts. So I'm going to Ultra Ball here. I'm going to get a Seismitoad in play. Now I have a backup in case my active one gets knocked out. In the quite unlikely event that happens, then I play N. I end myself down to 4 and him to 6. But if I top deck, no, I'm sorry. If I get a red card off of my N, then I put him down to 4 as well. And I'm not really counting on it, really. I'm not really worried about what he's going to get. I think I have the game in a bag at this point. And again, I do not believe that round is competitive at all. But look at that. I get a double colorless energy. Believe it or not, that is a base set to double colorless energy. Just because, why not? And then I play red card. He had just drawn his 6 cards, and then I played red card. He's like, oh, come on. So much shuffling. And really, there's a lot of shuffling in the format right now. I remember watching the first Worlds live stream in 2012 and the Masters division, and my goodness, they were just shuffling for minutes on end. I think maybe 30 or 40% of their games were just shuffling. And this is why the trading card game online is so much faster, because it just automatically shuffles for you. Then all your time is spent on just deciding what to do instead of shuffling. But that's partly what makes the real game so much more fun, is you can just shuffle. So long as you don't cheat, then shuffling can actually be fun, and then so long as you don't, take your sweet time, then there's no reason to rush. But anyway, so I round for knockout for 150. He benches another Darkrai. I disrupted his hand with the red card, so he has no Dark Patch or Random Receiver. He does have a Bianca, which gets him up to 6 cards, and that's okay. That's probably a better supporter to get right now, because looks like he has a few cards in his hand that he really needed. So he got a Dark Patch off of that, and that's all he can do. He's going to pass. I bench my Meloetta now with Silver Bangle. My Seismitoad is doing 210 damage. Holy cow. I'm doing 210. This is the maximum output that round can possibly do, by the way, unless you play Iris. So I play an Escape Rope, because why not? So he switches in his other Darkrai, because with Escape Rope, it's like a catcher. Your opponent switches his active with one of his bench Pokemon. It's of their choosing, though. That's the difference. And then I switch into my other Seismitoad and put a Silver Bangle on that. 2 identical Seismitoads now, except one has 30 damage. That one's on the bench. I have a Seismitoad with no damage. Then I do round for 210. Holy cow. There is no way he can get out of this. There's just no way. I will say that he has only damaged me with Hypnotoxic Laser at this point, which is unfortunate. He hasn't been able to damage me with any attacks. The only attack he's been able to use is Junk Hunt. That's incredibly unfortunate. But hopefully this will teach him how to play a little better. And really, if you go into the card game expecting that you know how to play perfectly, then that's just naive. And if you go into the card game hoping that you will learn stuff, then and now Trainer is just putting random cards on the Darkrai. It's like, you've lost, don't try. But if you go into the card game expecting to learn, then that's partly what makes it fun, is just continuously learning. So he's going to Ultra Ball 2 Float Stones away. I don't know what he could get. I don't know what's left. He has... Oh, I guess he does run 2 Trubbish. But he gets another Darkrai. He runs 4 Darkrai in this deck. I run 3 in mine, but, I guess it's a personal preference. But anyway, so he just binges a Darkrai, and I guess that's all he can do. No, he could Dark Patch, but he's beat. I will win. I will knock out a Darkrai, plus 30 damage. So he passes. My turn. I'm going to play red card. I'm going to be a troll, pretty much, and play red card. Pretty much salt on an open wound. I play Ultra Ball to get Seismitoad. I'm going to probably play Professor Juniper. Yep. And he could scoop it anytime. He could just shake hands and be done with it, but I'm just drawing this out because I am horrible. I have 2 double colorless energies in my hand. I'll put one on Meloetta. Yay. I'll play a laser to put on Darkrai. Actually, now I'm doing 240 damage after the Verbank in the laser. I play another red card. I play another laser just to try and put him to sleep. I am being so mean. He's just, okay, I give up. So that was that. So after all that, 240 damage. Holy cow. Ladies and gentlemen, round. I don't know if that was just insanely good luck on my side and bad luck on his side, but that was a fun game, and I'm very glad that Andrew is having fun with this, and I'm glad to have battled him again. So let's take one last look at that Yveltal playmat. And with that, I'll thank everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.